yields back. The chairwoman now recognizes herself for 5 minutes. I'd like to thank our witnesses for appearing before us today. And as a Floridian and the lone Floridian on this committee, I am particularly excited about this topic. Obviously, home to over 300 specialty crops, Florida is a leader in this space, and so it's an honor to not only serve on this committee, but to be the voice on behalf of the thousands of producers that call the Sunshine State home. The latest census of agriculture proves the robust nature of Florida's specialty crop industry. In 2022, the state sold over $1.4 billion with a B dollars of fruits, tree nuts, and berries, $3.4 billion in nursery, greenhouse, floriculture, and sod, and over $1.9 billion in vegetables, melons, potatoes, and sweet potatoes. These specialty crops represent more than half of the total value in agriculture sold this year. Now, I know it is not the purview or jurisdiction of this committee, but I would be remiss if I did not mention the importance of labor in today's hearing, as we all know that specialty crops require a tremendous amount of labor. And as I speak to our producers around the state and quite frankly around the country, we all recognize that there is a dire need for reliable and affordable labor. But we have a challenge in this country. I'm hopeful that one day we can have a conversation about the need for reforms and the specialty crop research also that is so dire for this industry. I'm hopeful that we can have a different conversation about keeping the industry resilient and well-funded. So I'm going to begin with you, Mr. France. You had mentioned, talking to my colleague from California, that the Farm Bill was in a step in the right direction. Now, as you know, Florida's nursery and ornamental industry is one of the largest in the United States, yet it faces hurricane risk, pest threats, and supply chain disruptions. Specifically, what improvements could be made to crop insurance and disaster relief programs to better serve our nursery and specialty crop producers? And I know that we know the shortcomings broadly, but if you could speak to specific fixes that Congress could undertake, that would be appreciated.
Congresswoman, if you'll indulge me, I'm going to answer your question because you said hurricanes, slightly different. You have a booming citrus industry in Florida. You're the most important, one of the most important industries you have in your state. There is a particular request I have of this committee.
I'm all ears.
And that is that there are challenges in the citrus protocol, the citrus regulations that deal with what to do with breaches. We grow our citrus inside USDA certified houses that exclude pests in order to prevent your citrus orchards from being the continued spread of HLB. When hurricanes come, or even small breaches, but certainly hurricanes are a significant factor and a big one, it's very difficult, if not impossible, for the nursery growers in your state to get recertified. And in some cases, the lack of recertification is more impactful to their business than the hurricane itself. And so it would be enormously helpful if we could see some sort of help getting an update to a decade-old regulation that is still waiting for improvements from industry to make the breach protocol be more effective on our nurseries and farms.
That's very helpful. Thank you. Thank you. And I want to echo, I mean, the citrus industry, as we know, you can't really talk about Florida without talking about citrus. And I'm fearful that with every grove that goes under and another housing development replaces it, that just breaks my heart. That could be the final crop. So that is something very, very tangible that I believe we can undertake, and I will follow up with you to see if we can get that addressed immediately.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Dr. Boring, based on your experience, can you share the uncertainty around the Farm Bill reauthorization, specifically how that impacts investment decisions and planning for the following season?
Certainly. I think you really touch on that as one of the more significant barriers that growers I know in Michigan and across the country continue to experience is the uncertainty. There's certainly ramifications around trade of what that looks like moving forward. But the standing up some of these more significant, more comprehensive risk management strategies. I'll additionally highlight some of the concerns and the pressures of uncertainty on permanent crops. Of how growers need to forecast far into the future of what return on investment is going to be. So oftentimes when we're establishing asparagus, apples, cherries, there's a delayed payoff there before those crops become fruit bearing, that we can start gathering investments. So growers in those industries in particular are really plagued by the uncertainty that's currently out there, with some of the uncertainties certainly around Farm Bill, about how we make long-term bets on the futures of these industries when there's so much hanging out there that we're just not sure about at this time.
No, thank you. I agree wholeheartedly. The uncertainty is absolutely something that has plagued the industry, and we need to do a better job here in Congress in delivering. So my time has expired. At this time, I wish to recognize the gentleman from Michigan, Mr. Tandahar.
Thank you.